Welcome back to the D4 channel, and today I'll be reviewing me and my other half Beanie's trip to Galaxy's Edge. But before we do that, I want you guys to like and subscribe to our channel. Click the bell for notifications for every time we upload a video about anything Star Wars. Now let's get into it. Star Wars Galaxy Edge. Now I went there for my birthday, and I've been excited for this trip for ever since actually the land came out, but more particularly in the last year. I wanted to go to this land because obviously, duh, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and it honestly everything I've seen on YouTube or on images or just people talking about it, it looked awesome. So I wanted to go and experience it for myself, and me and my girl Danielle got the chance to go there. And first of all, I want to say I'm gonna give my light side opinion and then my dark side opinion about the land. But first and foremost, I want to say that it is a Star Wars land, and obviously, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I absolutely loved the land. Not as much as I thought I would, but I just want to say I did love my experience at Galaxy's Edge. Now, that being said, there were a few things that I'll start with my dark side take on it first. There's a few things that one I didn't like. One, I expected to spend a lot more money than I did, which you're probably saying, really, you want to spend more money? Yes, I wanted to spend more. I'm upset that I didn't spend as much money as I possibly could have. Going into the land, I thought I want to buy everything, but there was actually nothing really that I personally would wanted or of the quality that I would think a Star Wars land would have offered. The food in the land, uh, uh, they try to make it Star Wars-y, if that's even a word. I hate when people use Star Wars-y. But yeah, they try to make the food Star Wars-y. But it's really just regular food with funny names, and the food is absolutely terrible. In fact, before you go to this land, please eat something either by the Disney parks or before you go to the land, because the food is not that amazing. I just want to say so myself. I had my brother there with me, and he's known to eat any and everything. Even he couldn't even stand the food there, and that's saying something because this man will eat anything. So eat before you go to the land because the food's not that great. Obviously, I'm in Florida, so Disney is Disney World, not Disneyland. So I don't know if there's a difference between who shows up in Galaxy's Edge, but there was literally no characters there to meet the eye except for maybe a couple of stormtroopers. There's no Kylo Ren, there was no Chewie, there was no Rey. There's another character that they made up just for this land, and she's in a couple of books. She wasn't there either. I don't know. We went on a Sunday. I don't know whether it was just because it was Sunday or they just didn't want to be in this land. I don't know what it was, but the lack of characters in there, not that great. In fact, at least get the sequel trilogy characters there, like Rey and Kylo Ren. But my gripes about this land is it's too, I guess I would say narrow. I would like a more expansive land, something that spans the prequel era, the original trilogy era, and of course the sequel trilogy era. But that's because Disney, when they made this land, there was a whole bad stigma on the prequel, so they want nothing to do with that, which is a very incorrect statement because I grew up with the prequels. That is my Star Wars mainly. And, it kind of sucks that not even the sequel trilogy characters were there. Also, nobody in this park were Star Wars fans. And when I say that, I mean, you could tell they knew absolutely nothing about Star Wars. They just put them in uniforms and said, just go be regular people in this land. For the exception of the one ride, the Ride of the Resistance, those people were Star Wars fans. But I'll get to that in my light side take. So yeah, no one was Star Wars fans because you could just tell. You could look in their face and in their eyes. They were not Star Wars fans, and that drove me insane. I'm like, how do you work in this land? This land is supposed to be canon and not be a Star Wars fan. So that wouldn't bother a lot of people who go to this land, but for a big nerd like me, that was like, oh my god, that drove me insane. But that was a little nitpicky thing of it. So yeah, I think that's all. Oh, also, meet my boy, my droid that I created. Yes, say hello to the audience. Yes. Now, another one of my gripes, and also it's very hard to to find an honest review on these droids. Now, this droid cost me about, I would say, what did it cost me? $100. Yeah, because the droid's $100 to make. Now, in the land, they will offer you. Yes, I'm getting to that part. In the land, they will offer you this chip, this personality chip that they would say make your droid unique. So, for example, you get a happy chip, a sad chip, a grumpy chip, a mischievous chip. Chopper from Star Wars Rebels has his own chip. R2 chip. These chips are supposed to theoretically make these droids different than one another. But what they don't tell you is one, these chips only work in certain sections of the park. For example, I got the R2D2 chip for my droid, and what they told me was that it was supposed to make him scream like R2 because he sounds like R2 without the chip. But this chip was supposed to make him have the famous R2 scream. It doesn't do that. It only does that in certain parts of the land. So like if and theoretically, I didn't even test this out because I didn't get a chance to carry him around in. I didn't get the chance to explore all the land. So when he goes to like say a first order part of the land, he will scream like R2, and I think that's because they have some kind of satellite or some kind of radio thing where they could basically hack your droid to make him interact or sound like R2. So when they offer you this chip, the droids are completely made. Do not take the chip because outside of the land, the chip is absolutely useless and it costs you about an extra $15 more. You do not need this chip. I'm probably gonna clip this part out, this review of the droid to for people to actually just watch. Do not get the chip for this droid. It is a waste of money. It does not do anything. It does not make your droid's personality any different than what they already are without the chip. Do not get the chip. It is a waste of $15. I mean, I still love my buddy, and I will take him back to land just to see if this R2 chip actually works. But I was very disappointed that he doesn't scream like R2 on a normal basis. But other than that, I absolutely love my droid. I think he's fantastic. The droid itself, I think, is worth $100. Just the experience of getting the parts for the droid, putting him together, making him come to life. All that stuff is fantastic. But yeah, the chip is absolutely useless. But I think that's it for my negative takes on the land. And you're probably watching this video and like, man, did you really enjoy this land? I did enjoy this land. At first, I thought I was going to walk away disappointed, but I did not. And I'll get to my light side point now. So, obviously, everything, first of all, the land looks amazing. The architecture, the design, the detail in the land, like all the buildings and stuff, is absolutely amazing. Just to see all the droids around, to see some of the X-Wings just parked in the background. Like, the land looks fantastic. Like, imagine if they did this and it was Coruscant or a Naboo or something more thing than just Batu. Imagine if they had, because Disney could do this. Imagine if they could switch the land up to be different parts of Star Wars worlds. That would be amazing. I know it'd be a lot of work and a lot of money, but get rid of your dumb hotel that costs way too much money and has nothing to do with Star Wars and make this thing. But yes, the land looks awesome. The blue and green milk, the blue and green milk, when I heard reviews about, they try to make it more distinct than any other drink you ever had in your life to make it feel alien, like it probably would in Star Wars. They hit the mark. The blue and green milk is absolutely fantastic. I don't even know what exactly is in it because it tastes nothing like anything I've ever tasted before. And it tastes so good. Like even right now, I'm craving for it. So kudos, 10 out of 10 for the blue and green milk. Absolute must if you go to this land. Fantastic.
Like milk, I'll tell you that. It doesn't taste like milk.
I think they nailed blue milk. It was supposed to taste alien. They nailed it.
The rides. Let's get to the rides. So we'll start with the Rise of the Resistance first. This one was absolutely amazing. This is basically where you go into like all the mountains you see in the land. You kind of go into like this, I guess, roller coaster kind of thing. It's not really. It's like a giant ride where you kind of like have to infiltrate the First Order and all that stuff. And the way they take you in is absolutely amazing. You know, you go in. Oh, sorry, Droid. You go in and basically you go into like I guess this First Order base, and you're part of the rebellion. And like this ride is so much fun because you see stormtroopers in the background. They look absolutely amazing. Not actual people, but you know like statues or just props standing there, and then you get taken in by the First Order. Now, before I get to that part, reverse it a little bit. While you're going in there in like the little ride elevator, like you're in a spaceship, you see Admiral Akbar, like what you call an animatronic, and he looks so dope. It was so cool. And then you go into the First Order ride, and the First Order people are like asking all these questions, and my stupid self, like I'm actually like. I'm not with these people. Like, I don't know anything. I was wearing my red kyber crystal. You know, I was like, I know the Emperor. Like, I made it so much more fun than it probably would have been. And I was actually testing their knowledge, too. Those people who work in the Rise of Resistance ride, they are Star Wars fans. Because I was hitting them with some kind of deep questions, and they were responding in kind with the appropriate answers. So, shout out to those guys, the only people in the entire land who's actually Star Wars fans. And I guess they need to be Star Wars fans because technically that ride is canon and part of the story, the journey. So kudos to them. That ride was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Like that between the Millennium Falcon and the Rise of Resistance, I think I enjoyed the Rise of Resistance just a little bit more. But that's mostly because like I was into it. I was asking, you know, I was being dumb. I was being in like a character, and the people around me, I think, were enjoying my performance. I know my other half, Daniel, definitely enjoyed my performance. But yeah, that ride was fantastic. Just inside of it looked awesome. They had big walkers in there and everything, so that's pretty cool.
I'm part of the resistance. Hello? Oh, who's shooting back? Hello? Oh, resistance members. Oh, no. Hello?
Try to find another way down to the escape pods.
Yeah, get us out of here. Kylo, you know my father.
Engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields.
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
The prisoners have escaped.
How brave.
Hey guys, hi.
Ultimately hopeless.
What the
There's nowhere to run.
what is this for now? Hello? Oh!
shots came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the ring.
Oh my god.
I'll let you sign on for it, but hey,
I was already bad, bro. I took these off.
right back. Lieutenant, I need eyes on
I literally got my.
Admiral, we survived.
I should hope so.
We're having lunch next week.
Great job, recruits.
All right, great.
Your heroism, the location of the resistance base is secure. Bravo. Yes, R5, you too.
Be sure to collect all
Thank
cargo
you.
and watch your step as you exit.
For the resistance.
And now let's get to the Millennium Falcon ride. This ride is awesome. The design of inside the ship, you see the hollow chess table, everything looks immaculate. Now, this ride is very hard because I thought it'd be kind of easy to drive the Millennium Falcon. It is not. I was the co-pilot, I think. I wasn't the co-pilot seat. My friend Justin was in the pilot seat, and then I believe Daniel was the mechanic, and then my brother was the gunner. This ship is hard to pilot. Oh my, let me tell you, if you think you're gonna go in and be like Han Solo, you're not, unless you have multiple chances to try out this ride. This thing is hard, and obviously before you go in, you see Hondo Onaka, my boy Hondo, and he's basically telling you to do this mission to get some equipment to bring back to him. I don't think we got halfway. We crashed that ship maybe like the first, I want to say 10, 15 minutes. I don't even know how long that ride's supposed to be. But after you fail miserably, Hondo's on the image on the ship, and he's just like, you know, this didn't go the way I planned, and he basically just very disappointed in you. And I was very disappointed in myself because I thought I was gonna go in being like Han Solo or Chewbacca. No, sirree, I am not a pilot.
I'm a pilot, you know, and someday I'm gonna fly away from this place.
The ride was fun, don't get me wrong, the ride was fun, but the ship was so hard to control. I'm definitely, when I go back to the land, I will have to try it again because I want to see what happens at the end. But the ride was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I loved the whole design of it. Everything was great. Just, honestly, all in all, the design of the land is awesome. I definitely give it maybe like a 7 out of 10. I expected it to be a 10 out of 10, but that's because I went in with probably extremely high optimism and confidence of this land, and I probably shouldn't have did that because my expectations were a little bit too high. So I almost got disappointed, but the two rides definitely saved it in the end. Oh, also, before we went into the land, it's not part of the land, but you know, just a Star Wars thing in general. Star Tours, obviously back in the day before Disney owned it, it used to be a whole different thing. Now it's just like basically one ride. That ride was pretty fun. It's like you go in and you go into like, I guess, a ship, and you basically fly through parts of the sequel trilogy. And that's another thing. Everything is sequel trilogy. Boy, when I tell you Disney is so afraid to touch the prequels, at least in other media, Disney, listen to me now, okay? The prequels are awesome. Many people like the prequels. In fact, more often than not, more people like the prequels than they hate it, okay? All those grumpy old men who grew up in the 70s who these Star Wars weren't made for. There are people like me. Yes, I know. Yes, I know, buddy. There are people like me who love it and grew up with it. So please stop ignoring the prequels. Make more for the prequels, okay? But yeah, that's just my little caveat on that. But all in all, the land is great. The design is fantastic. They could do better with the stuff that actually is in the land to purchase. Food definitely needs to be better. I didn't get to explore the whole land because we didn't get to go to Doc Ondar's shop, which I think would have probably would have helped me with my lack of spending money, because I think that's where most of the good stuff is. So I didn't get to see that land because to get there and explore the land and the rides, it was a lot. So I definitely go back because there's some sections that I've missed. But what I've seen so far, I would say it's pretty good. Could be better, but it's pretty good, and it's definitely a Star Wars land. So if you're planning to go to Galaxy's Edge, I hope you see this review, and I hope that you take everything I'm saying to heart. Like, this is the most, because most of the reviews I've seen weren't completely honest, and that's part of my expectations were so high. Everyone who goes to this land is like absolutely, and I'm like, if people know me, I'm one of the biggest Star Wars fans probably on this planet, and this is my most honest review of anything Star Wars. I shouldn't say I love the land. I very much like the land, but it could be better in some aspects of it. But it's definitely an experience you won't forget. It's definitely an experience that you'll enjoy having, especially if you go with friends or family. I think you'll enjoy this land. Again, the droid is so cute and absolutely adorable. Do not get the chip. He comes complete without the chip. But yeah, that is my review on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Let me know in the comments below if you have went to Galaxy's Edge. How did you enjoy your experience, or did you not enjoy your experience? And if you haven't gone to Galaxy's Edge, let me know if this review was very helpful for you. Again, I'm Hamid Mark. To my other half, Danielle, Edward, D4. We are the D4 channel, and we hope to see you guys next time. May the Force be with you, always.